You might think right now that in order to get the dream body that you want, you first need to bulk up. There's a term called bulking up, dirty bulking, which basically means you eat whatever the hell is in front of you. You eat the food that your parents are giving you. You eat Wendy's, you eat junk food, you eat McDonald's, whatever is in front of you. And you do this in the sake of getting as big and as jacked as you possibly can. You want to get as much weight as you possibly can into your body. But here's the thing, when you try to bulk up or to do a dirty bulk, you confound fat with muscle. You're only trying to get calories in so that you get as big as you possibly can. But what you are building is not muscle. You're not building the aesthetic physique that you want. You're building a body of fat mass. And this isn't what you want. Trust me, you'd rather be skinny than having a body of fat mass. So here's the guide, the full autistic guide in order to bulk up so that you might gain as much muscle as you possibly can in the least amount of time. This will be a 3-step process that I will guide you through in this single video that will help you build as much muscle as you possibly can. So if you don't know me, my name is Rafael Cruz, and my purpose with this channel is to get you as confident as you possibly can. So if that's something that you are interested in, click the follow button down below so that you might get as much value. So the 3-step process of eating healthy, okay? First of all, we need to know what not to eat. And this is a simple thing, okay? In each and every single food that you are going to eat, apart from like junk foods, all the foods that you are going to eat has an ingredient list in the back of the food. So let's say you're eating toast with a spread, let's say Nutella. The bottle of Nutella is going to have an ingredient list in the back of the pot, and this is what I want you to look at every single time that you're going to eat something. This ingredient list is going to allow you to basically know what you are eating and what you are ingesting into your body. So here are the 3 things that you need to avoid in your diet, right? First of all, we've got seed oils, vegetable oil, canola oil, kernel oil, everything that comes from seeds in the nature that are converted in oils. All of that is toxic and it's inflammatory for your body. So you want to avoid that as much as you possibly can. What that does is basically it reduces your energy levels when you're inflamed. Your body is fighting to basically fight the inflammation. So all of that energy that you're spending to fight the inflammation, you could use that in your workouts or in the task that you would do in your normal day. So when you avoid those seed oils, what you do is you habituate your brain to actually stop fighting your inflammation in your body, and you end up having more energy. So when you avoid seed oils, what you do is you increase your energy levels because you're not fighting against your inflammation. Then another thing that's inflammatory for your brain and that saves you a lot of energy is refined sugars, sucralose, maltodextrin. These are complicated words that I don't want to get into, but basically everything that is a replacement of sugar. I know some companies that will say they're like the energy drinks that will say 0 sugar, but in the back they'll add in sucralose, they'll add in a ton of replacement for sugars that aren't actually sugars but that are still sugary. If you're eating a drink that's sugary, okay, but that says it has no sugars in them, it means it has more cancer. So it does the same thing as the seed oils. It inflames your body and you end up having way less energy for your workouts and for your daily tasks. So it basically does the same exact thing. And I think it's even worse when you take them. It reduces your ability to think properly and to actually have a good energy level for your workouts. And the third thing that you want to avoid as much as possible is colorants, artificial colorants, everything that's red 40, CFC blue, like all these colorful things, colorants that they put in the drinks in order for the drinks to look more attractive. Avoid that as much as you possibly can. That's poison for your brain, for your body, for your muscles, for everything. And if you can remember one thing from this video is that what you eat is what you become. If you eat like shit, you'll act like shit. I want you to write this down on your phone, on your wallpaper, on whatever you can right now. What you eat is what you become. When you end up living by this phrase, by this sentence, it's much easier for you to actually eat healthy. Because now you're like, okay, if I eat this, I'll become what this food's reputation is. So you have to constantly remind yourself of what you are eating is what you become. Coming back to the colorants, everything that's colorful, everything that's Gatorades, drinks that have a colorful aspect, avoid that as much as you possibly can. Again, that's going to give you inflammation, and it's going to thrive all the energy that you have towards the inflammation that it's going to create in your body. So you want to avoid that as much as you possibly can. Seed oils, sugar replacements like maltodextrin, sucralose, all of those bullshits, avoid that as much as you possibly can. And finally, colorants, red 40, blue, whatever the fuck it is, avoid that as much as you possibly can. Okay, now the second thing, now that we've passed on what not to eat, now what to eat. What do you have to actually eat if you want to gain muscle? You want to focus on eating the right amount of protein. Okay, this means the ideal amount of protein that you should be eating is 1 gram per pound of body weight. Let's say you're 150 pounds of body weight, okay, lean mass. You should be eating 150 grams of protein per pound of body weight that you weigh. And be careful with this. A gram of protein is not a gram of the food that you're going to eat. So let's say you're eating 150 grams of chicken. 150 grams of chicken is not going to have 150 grams of protein. So don't get tricked into the idea that, oh, I'm eating 150 grams of chicken right now, so I'm eating 150 grams of protein. So the way that you calculate your protein intake is by an app, FitnessPal. It's an app that you can get from the Apple Store. It's completely free. You can get premium if you want more things. I think there's a function that you can just take a picture of your food and it logs in automatically. I never use that personally. I just tap in the food, chicken breast or whatever I'm eating. It gives me how much protein I'm basically eating. Then what I want you to do is calculate your calorie intake. Basically, what we want in a bulk is to be in a calorie surplus. We want to eat a bit more. So how this works is basically you go onto the same app that I've told you about earlier, onto my FitnessPal. It's going to ask you your age, how tall you are, how much exercise you do a week, and then by those metrics, it's going to calculate how much calories you actually need to eat in a day in order to maintain, in order to lose, in order to gain muscle. If you meet that point every single day, then you're fine with it. You're in business. So we've talked about what not to eat, how much you need to eat, and now you might ask yourself, okay, now I know what to eat. I know what not to eat. Because maybe a teenager, maybe you're in your young years, you're an adult, but you're a young adult and you don't have enough money to buy groceries right now. So what's your option? Parents. Most guys that I know, they complain that their parents don't provide the right foods for actually eating healthy. They say it's impossible to actually gain a good body because of their parents' nutrition. But here's the thing. Have you ever asked your parents to contribute to your health or to buying healthy things? Have you ever asked them that question? Have you ever sat them down both and asked them, Mom, Dad, I would want to make a contribution into my health. I would want to actually go to the grocery store and actually buy something which will make me help build muscle, build the dream body that I want. It seems cringe when I tell you to you, but most guys won't say it. I've heard the complaints from guys who are telling me, oh, but healthy foods are too expensive. It's because you're looking at the healthy corner of your store, of your grocery store. It's not about eating all those fancy foods, those like oatmeals, organic oatmeals, these fancy protein bars. It's not about that. It's about eating normal foods, by eating beef, animal protein, chicken, turkey, vegetables. It's not as fancy as you think it is. And the only secret is to go up to your parents and ask them. That's what you have to ask your parents, and most guys don't even do this. So my actionable step right now for you is to go up to your parents if you want to actually make muscle and if you actually want to make a change in your body and you're serious about your health, then go up to your parents and ask them. And if they say no, it's because they either don't trust you, it's because they think that you're not going to make it. But you first have to prove that you're able to provide a value. You first have to prove that you're able to make a change in your body. And that's why they don't trust you. That's why they think that making that type of investment may not be the best option. Because they think you're gonna give up. Maybe they think you're not gonna be as consistent. So go up to them and ask them politely. Don't be disrespectful. Just ask them up front, Mom, Dad, I would want to make a contribution. I would want to make a change into my health, and I would actually want to gain the body that I've always dreamed of. I would want to be strong. Like, no father never wants his child or his son to not be strong, right? So just try to convince them. If they say no, take the L, that's it. But at least try to convince them. And if they say yes, then you're done and you are able to actually make progress towards your goal already by eating more properly. So that was it for the 3-step process of bulking. First of all, you need to know what not to eat in order for your energy levels to not spike down. Then we talked about what to eat, which basically was your protein, your daily protein intake that you should take, and also the calorie surplus that you should be at every single day. And finally, we talked about going up to your parents, asking them for a contribution into your overall health. If you want to increase your chances of getting more muscle, then I'm selling a full course telling you what to do exactly in the right order. If you want to get that, it's the first link in the description, and you're also going to access a community as well with other people that are just like you who are trying to build muscle. So if that's something that you are interested in, click the first link in the description. Also, don't forget to follow this channel if you want more videos like this one on your strength. Live confident, stay strong.